everyone, welcome back to Crochet and Crime, where I crochet and I tell true crime stories. Today we'll be talking about Ronald Defeo, and if you're not sure who that is, you might know what he is known for. There is a movie out there called The Amityville Horror, and this story revolves around Ronald, and it is personally one of my favorite horror movies. And I thought I would kind of spice things up for Halloween, even though it's already November by the time that this video comes out. So yeah, I thought I would just give you guys something a little close to home. Not really close to home for me, but like, I know more of the story, and like a lot of people know more of this. I'm gonna stop talking, you know what? Yeah, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this story is absolutely crazy. And it's gonna involve two families this time, the Defeo family and the Lutz family. And I would like to put out a quick disclaimer: this story does get kind of graphic, and it does involve children getting hurt, and if you're not interested in any of that, I suggest you click away from this video. Yeah, with that, let's get into it. In 1951, Ronald Defeo Sr. and Louise Marie Bigant got married. Their relationship, in others' eyes, were just a happy, warm couple with their 5 children: Ronald Jr., Dawn, Allison, Mark, and John. The family moved in 1965 to the main location of today's story, and this home was located in Amityville, Long Island. It was a 6-bedroom home, and that had a boathouse for the river near the home. Ronald Sr. was a very controlling man. He would start arguments frequently with his wife, and when she would argue back, his temper got the better of him. And Ronald Jr. would also get roped into these arguments, and as he got older, he got stronger, and fights between him and his father would get physical. Then on, Ronald Jr. would see a psychiatrist for his temper, and when he refused service for help, his parents would bribe him to keep calm and behave, but that only made him more angry. And he had outbursts so bad, they expelled him from school whenever he was 17, and he began doing hard drugs. In an attempt to help Ronald Jr. get his life back on track, his parents allowed him to work in their Buick dealership, and Ronald Jr. would complain constantly about how much he was getting paid, and this complaining would go into a tantrum from Ronald Jr., and eventually he got over it, but then he would steal money from the company, and when his father confronted him about it, Ronald Jr. then threatened to kill his father. In 1974, Ronald left for work early in the morning, and he gets to the dealership, and a lot of the employees are like looking around, and they're like, "Hey, Ronald, have you seen like your dad? You know, he didn't show up to work today." And Ronald's like, "Huh, no. He wasn't at home whenever I was there. You know, I thought he left early." And so he calls his dad, no answer. He calls his mom, no answer. Ronald was acting like worried, you know. He was like, "Okay, dad's not here, that's a little scary." But then he kind of just drops it and then goes on about his shift. And after work, he hung out with some of his friends, and then after that, he went back home and saw that the house was a complete wreck. And so he runs in and sees that his whole family had been shot and killed. So Ronald is terrified, and he makes his way to his neighbor's home, and they accompany him back to his house, and they call the police. The police arrived, and they interview Ronald, where he said that the name of the man who most likely did this was Louis Fellini, a customer he had an argument with at the car dealership. All the victims were found laying face down. Ronald Sr. and Louis were shot twice, while the children were only shot once. the police grew suspicious of Ronald Jr. because they had noticed that the bodies were like shot early in the morning when Ronald would have still been at home. So he would have like witnessed or at least heard the gunshots, right? Ronald then told police that Louis Fellini had an accomplice with him, and that accomplice had a gun to Ronald's head, and he had to watch his family die in front of him. So he has told police 2 separate stories so far. Less than 24 hours after he made his second story, he went to police and confessed that he did in fact kill his family. He said he couldn't stop himself and it felt like time was going fast. Less than a year later, Ronald went on trial for the 6 murders that took place. During the trial, Ronald changed his story many times. He threatened to kill the judge and even his own lawyer. And Ronald said that the voices in his head made him do it, and that he could not get them to stop. The courtroom psychiatrist supported these claims and said that he had a dissociative disorder, but then she took a moment to think on it and concluded that he was fully aware of what he was doing, and at no point did he try to stop himself when he could have definitely stopped himself. On November 21st of 1975, Ronald was found guilty for the 6 counts of murder, and he was sentenced to 6 consecutive sentences of 25 years to life. Years pass and nobody wanted to buy the home due to its history, but not the Lutz family. They bought this home for only $80,000, which was way below market value. So in December of 1975, the family moved in with their 3 children and their dog, and after moving in and living there for a little while, they realized something was off about the home. It had some cold spots here and there in different rooms, and they would hear footsteps and random noises from the basement. They even saw different apparitions and glowing red eyes in their windows, and George Lutz even claimed to see his wife transform into an old woman with wrinkles and everything. And only 28 days after moving in, they called a priest and packed their bags and went to live in Kathy Lutz's mother's home. Many different ghost hunters and psychics would enter the home, and they all agreed that a demonic figure was present and it would call for an exorcism. A book was made about their experiences, and many people jumped to the fact that it might not be true and that many things in the book could have easily been disproven. But the Lutz family stuck to their story until their respective deaths in the 2000s, and many have made a theory that they made it up for money and that they took this tragedy and made it seem like this home was haunted by the folk who once lived there and made up a fake story for money. But all of the Lutz family's children, who were quite young whenever this happened, all said that it was very true, but in an exaggerated way in films. I'm going to finish this up and I'll be right back. Alrighty, here are all the finished products. We have a red mega granny square, a regular little pink granny square, and 5 blue granny squares. One of them's a little baby. I have finally stopped procrastinating and I am starting to map this little guy out. So if you want to see the mapping process, please go down in the description and follow my Twitter, where I will be posting progress photos and other things like that. And I might also be posting some behind the scenes stuff of Crochet and Crime, and I'll start posting like what you should expect for like upcoming videos and stuff like that. My schedule is gonna be a little weird because I just got a job, like a adult job. Proud of me. Get out of the way. You're not the star of the show. Well, technically you are, but still. Yeah, so, scheduling, or not scheduling, but, videos are going to be a little bit slow since I'm juggling school and my new job. So, I will keep you guys updated if I do need to, set back a video. Terribly sorry, but, you know, a girl's gotta make money somehow, you know, a girl's gotta make a living. So yeah, this story was super crazy, and even if the Lutz family didn't lie, or they did lie about Amityville, or not Amityville, but about their story, it was still a crazy story to tell. And yeah, this story has been not really been talked about enough, and that kind of upsets me because this story is crazy. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this story as much as I did. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share with all the demons in your closet, and share with your friends. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye!